Welcome to this week's episode of 60 Seconds with the Superintendent. Our students, teachers, and staff have just completed the first week of in-person learning for our district. I recently shared with families that beginning next week and moving forward, our preschool and elementary students will be attending in-person school for 5 days per week. Middle school and high school students will continue attending on a blended schedule following the green and white day calendar. So why the difference between elementary and secondary students? Well, at the elementary level, we have less student enrollment and are able to keep students together with limited mixing of cohorts throughout the school day. Students will spend the majority of their day in the same classrooms. Where at the middle school and high school, we obviously have larger student enrollment, and the secondary schedule requires mixing of cohorts throughout the school day. This 4-week blended learning period will allow us to learn from experiences with smaller student groups and support a safe return for all students in the second quarter at the middle school and high school. We all are working to ensure the safety and health of our students and mitigating as many risks as we possibly can. So how are we going to handle the reporting of COVID cases and the communication to families in our district? Here's Assistant Superintendent Jenny Pelko to provide some additional details.
First and foremost, families and staff in our district need to conduct a daily self-assessment prior to each school day. Remember that the primary symptoms of COVID-19 are a fever of 100.4 or higher, a persistent cough or shortness of breath, and loss of taste and or smell. Other symptoms may include fatigue, sore throat, headache, congestion, nausea, or diarrhea. If staff members or students are exhibiting any of these symptoms, they must stay home until these symptoms subside without the aid of medication or a COVID-19 test that is deemed negative. We all need to err on the side of caution. Do not come to school if you have any of these symptoms. I know this may seem inconvenient, especially with allergies out there and colds, but remember, we are all trying to keep everyone healthy in school. Nothing about COVID has been easy or convenient. If a student or employee experiences COVID-19 related symptoms during the school day, they should report to the identified isolation area within the building. Each building has a separate area to begin to assess individuals with possible symptoms. For students, the clinic nurse will go through a COVID-19 symptom protocol in this confidential setting. If symptoms of COVID-19 are present, the parent or guardian will be contacted and the child will be sent home. Symptomatic employees will also be required to leave work immediately. If a student or staff member tests positive for COVID-19, they will be isolated at home for a period of 10 days. An investigation will also take place to assess any direct contact occurring 2 days prior to either testing positive or to the onset of symptoms. Remember, direct contact is defined as being within 6 feet for 15 minutes or longer with or without a facial covering. Anyone identified as a direct contact to somebody testing positive for COVID-19 will be instructed to quarantine at home for 14 days after the exposure and monitor for symptoms. Testing is recommended so that you would know, but even if there is a negative test, you still would be quarantined for the 14-day period as symptoms can still develop. Also, remember, a contact of a contact is not a contact. So for example, if my daughter is positive, I am a direct contact. However, anyone I came in contact with prior to my quarantine is not. Another example, if I become COVID positive, my children are direct contacts, but their peers in the classroom are not. If a Cuyahoga County Board of Health or district administrator contacts you as part of a COVID-19 investigation, please cooperate fully to ensure the safety and health of our entire community. It is also important that we show kindness and understanding to those who may be identified as being exposed or testing positive for COVID-19. Communication regarding possible exposure to COVID-19 will be sent to those who may qualify as a direct contact. If a student or staff member tests positive or is suspected of testing positive for COVID-19, contact tracing will take place and applicable letters will be sent to those in direct contact with that individual. Letters will also be sent to staff and parents within the same classroom, same group, same activity, building, and even the bus. If your student is exhibiting symptoms and is going to be absent for the day, please report the absence by calling your building's attendance line. It is important for families to be truthful and accurate when reporting absences, so that the appropriate investigation can occur and contact tracing if necessary. Students who are absent, in quarantine, or in isolation will be provided remote learning plans and assignments. These will be coordinated with their teachers through Google Classroom. And finally, if you feel that there is somebody that is exhibiting symptoms of COVID-19 or has tested positive and we're not aware, there is an anonymous reporting form located on our website where you can report this information to us and we will begin to investigate, because our goal is always to keep everyone safe.
Our district has developed a COVID dashboard, and it's on our website, strongnet.org/restart. This dashboard details active isolations and active quarantines for students and staff. The dashboard will be updated daily, Monday through Friday, by 5 p.m. As you look at this dashboard, please keep in mind the differences between active isolations and active quarantines. Those in active isolations are in a 10-day isolation based on confirmed or presumed COVID positive cases. Presumed COVID positive refers to a situation where a medical professional has deemed that an individual most likely has COVID, yet for a specific reason they are not getting tested. Those that are in active quarantine refer to students and staff who have been in direct contact with someone who is tested positive for COVID and have been placed in the 14-day quarantine protocol. Once again, it's important to remember when looking at the active quarantine column that these are not individuals that are positive for COVID. It just means that they have been a direct contact to somebody who is tested positive, and to be safe and cautious, these individuals are going to stay home for 14 days. Please also remember that these numbers are not cumulative. They simply provide a snapshot of our active isolations and active quarantines on any given day. As a community, we need to remember that there are some basic ways to significantly reduce the spread of this virus and ultimately provide our students and staff with a safe and healthy environment and the best chance to continue to participate in in-person learning, which is the learning environment we are striving to attain for all of our students. So remember to wash your hands regularly. Avoid touching your face, eyes, nose, and mouth. Wear your facial covering at all times, and especially when you cannot maintain social distancing from one another. And remember to keep that 6 feet of social distancing from others as much as you possibly can. Our district has and will continue to do everything possible to mitigate risk and ensure the health and safety of our students and staff. We will continue to collaborate with our local and state health departments and work within their recommendations to ensure the safest learning environments for our district. As a reminder, if you have additional questions or need specific details on the ways our district continues to proactively limit risk and elevate health and safety measures, please visit our website for the SCS Responsible Restart Guide. Feel free to also reach out to your building principal or a district administrator. We are in this together. As always, thanks for watching, and go make it a great Mustang week.